Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Moa aka Swedish Whiskey Girl. Today I am going to try both a whiskey and a gin, and this is a distillery I've never ever tried anything from. So this is from Norrtelje Distillery, and actually they're called Norrtelje Brenneri. They are located, for people who don't know Sweden, I would say they're fairly close to Stockholm, I guess. But yeah, just outside of Norrtelje. And they were founded in 2001, and they do a lot of different interesting things. I actually lied when I said I haven't tried anything from them. I haven't tried any whiskey from them before, but I think I've actually tried a punch from them before when I was at the Spirit Museum in Stockholm. Love a punch. If you ever go to Sweden, try punch. If you like sweet, try that. It's really good. But they do punch, they do gin, and we have a sea Buckthorn gin that we're gonna try today. They do their whiskey, and they also do different distillates from different things like apples and pears and sea buckthorn as well. So it is very interesting, and I'd love to be able to go for a tour there one day and just explore more of what they're doing. But yes, this whiskey here, I got a really lovely little letter, so these samples are gifted from them. And they haven't released a lot of whiskey before. They have released 16 different releases, but only 3 on the Systembolaget, which is kind of the government owned. They have the monopoly on alcohol sales in Sweden. And everything else has been sold, for example, at the whiskey cruise or whiskey fairs, but this is the 3rd one they're releasing at Systembolaget. So I have a little bit of a little note of what it is. So they're releasing it Thursday the 4th of March. They're releasing 140 bottles, 50 cl, looking like that. And they have a very ecological approach to what they do. So they use ecological barley, for example, from Sweden. And they're basically, the new make was distilled in May 2013, has been matured in 4 Sherry Oloroso casks that are 30 litres, so very small, compared to a lot of other things you'll see. It's non-chill filtered, and it's natural colour. The casks were filled in the 7th of April 2014, and it was bottled 17th of November 2020. So let's try. Always fun to try Swedish things. Ooh, it's fairly sweet, nutty Oloroso character that comes through. A little bit of that kind of wine cellar vibe, a little bit earthy. But yeah, quite a musty, dense and dark sensation of it, which you would expect from a sherried whiskey. At least the one that is this sherried, it's only sherry casks, so it definitely has a very dark character. There is something else in there that I'm trying to pinpoint. This is also because I took a day off yesterday, a well-needed one. So I am recording this in the morning when it's going out later on today, and I haven't had breakfast yet, so this is my breakfast. But at least my palate is not contaminated by anything. Woody, but like, listen to this. Makes no sense, but breakfast cereal woody. It's like that kind of malty, like almost like Frosties. If you've ever opened a packet of Frosties, or like sugary cereal, and wood. Quite elegant flavours. It's not super punchy or sharp, which is interesting. A little bit more spam, but let's try it. Skål! Quite malty on the palate, but soft malty. Definitely an Oloroso sherry character, nutty, soft spice. But the maltiness is not just a sensation of malty notes, it is also, what's it called? Like the flavour of nice malt. It's full of flavours. It almost has like a rye note to it, if you tried rye whiskey. That kind of rye spice that a lot of people talk about. A little bit of oranges as well. It's not as dense and thick and oily as I thought it would be. It's more silky. It has a density to it. The whiskey doesn't feel very, well, this is the thing, it feels light, but it definitely coats your palate and feels silky. So the texture, even though the spice is a little bit, how do you say that? It's still on my tongue and it feels a little bit rougher, the spice, without feeling sharp. But then the whole sensation is very, very smooth. So it's almost like you've taken a sip and it kind of goes down so easily that you're like, oh, did I just drink that? Because I have a lot of flavour in my mouth, but it feels like the liquid disappears so quickly because it feels so silky. So then I'm like, oh, maybe I should just have another sip. So I guess this is one that you kind of just want to go back for. Oranges, definitely. An orange peel, oils maybe? I mean, sherry character is there, like nutty, but it's not a sherry monster. It's a very nicely balanced. I don't think the casks are taking over too much, but it's a really nice balance. Very interesting. I forgot to say that this is at 46.7% ABV. I'm also gonna try the Sea Buckthorn gin neat, because why not? Let me see if I can have a look. Also ecological, and it's EKO certified. They've been using juniper, of course, and then coriander, cardamom, rose petals, orange peels, angelica roots, and rönnbär, which I can't remember what it is in English, but I'll put it up on the screen. Ecological red grapefruits, and then also, of course, the sea buckthorns. Distilled in 150 litre, alternatively 450 litre copper pot still, but also common still. And it also says it's distilled for 4 hours, blah blah blah. 42% ABV. Yeah, nice. Let's try it. Oh, it definitely has a very specific character on the nose. It's quite punchy, but also quite sweet and quite musty, but like tropical fruit musty. Definitely fruity. I don't really know what sea buckthorn tastes like on its own. But I could definitely see that that might be the character coming through. I almost want to describe it as a sour mango. If you know what sea buckthorn tastes like, please put it in the comments below and see if you would agree that it could be something like sour mango. In the lack of a better word, I'm gonna say sour mango, and then it's just quite big, it feels quite dense. Let's have a sip. Skål! That flavour is transported very, very well to the palate. I think it said that there's a basket with red grapefruit, so I wonder if they've also added the kind of mash of everything to the liquid and then also done the infusion of the red grapefruit. There's definitely a lot of flavour in the new make, not the new make, in the gin, and quite nice to sip. Neat. I mean, for being my breakfast, it's quite nice. is so fruity. It's, or like that tropicalness to it. It doesn't taste sour on the palate, even though I know I described it as sour on the nose, but it's not sour as in something that's gone off like sour milk. It's more sour mango because it had almost like a zestiness to it, but that might be the grapefruit. I'm usually, when I try gin, I can try it neat and like it, but there's usually something then like I do want to add tonic or have it in a cocktail because it's just a little bit too sharp. This is definitely very, very pleasant to drink neat, but I could also see it going really well in a gin tonic, especially if you like a tropical one, or if you had a contrasting tonic. Maybe like a rosemary tonic or something. That would be like the herby meets the tropical to make it really crisp and fresh. But I just love rosemary, so it might just be that. Very, very nice. I'm gonna have apologies. I am gonna have another sip of the whiskey, of course. On the nose, it slightly reminds me of the Glenfarclas 15 that I tried the other week. Still has that almost rye character to it, which I wonder where it comes from. But it is a very interesting malt flavour. I think I really like that. I think it's very interesting, and I think it's, me and Cody talks about this sometimes, that I think the worst thing for a whiskey is when it's not interesting, because you kind of forget about it. It's almost better to be bad or weird in a way than to be forgettable, at least for us. It's because it's more interesting to try something that is either really nice or something that is maybe not so nice but has interesting flavors. And this, I wouldn't say this is not nice, I would say this is lovely, and I do think it has really interesting flavors, which is very pleasant to see, because I always want to try whiskey from a distillery I've not tried before, or something that, I mean, it's been around since 2001, so it has been around for a while, but it's that's something that feels younger. I'm afraid that their releases will be a little bit safe in a way, but this definitely has its own character, because this doesn't really remind me of a Macamira or a High Coast. It has its own character, and I think you can kind of taste that their focus in it, which I think is nice. I don't know if I would think that if I tried it blind, but it's nice to kind of get that, I don't know if this is ecological approach or if it's the pot stills that they're using or the casks, but everything just feels very, it feels like the flavors are enhanced in a way that I haven't tasted in a lot of other products. I don't know how to explain this as the best way. It just feels like every single character that I find in this whiskey each has a high quality on their own, and then when they mix together they make a fairly smooth whiskey, I would say, but interesting flavors. Yeah, two lovely, I mean, spirits. I can't wait to go to Sweden to try more from them in the future. It's I mean, yeah. I would love to hear if you've tried anything from Norrtelje Brenneri. If you have, let me know what I should try next. Have you tried the punch, the sea buckthorn gin, or have you perhaps tried their whiskey? I'd love to hear it, so please put it in the comments here below. And of course, if you want to support me and the channel, I'd be absolutely over the moon if you consider using my affiliate links the next time you're shopping with either Master Malt, the Whisky Exchange, or the Scotch Malt Whisky Society. All that information is in the description here below, as well as the links to my other social channels if you're curious about those. As always, a massive thank you to my wonderful supporters on Patreon. I'm so grateful I have you guys with me on my whiskey journey. I hope you'll all have a lovely Friday. I am about to have breakfast, so I'll see you next time. Sláinte Skål!